HMAS Canberra, the flagship of the Royal Australian Navy, sits proudly among the warships of 26 nations. Alongside the Australian landing helicopter dock sit Chinese missile frigates, and beyond that, giant American aircraft carriers.
The interest shown by all the nations in Canberra and the capability has been really positive. They're very excited about what we bring.
The Canberra is loaded with Australian soldiers who are here learning to fight like US Marines. Troops from Townsville-based 2RAR have spent the past week in Hawaii with the Marines, exchanging knowledge, weapons and vehicles.
The role is very similar. Yeah, the background is different, which is taken a little bit of a cultural shift.
They're due back on the Canberra for more ocean-based training and probably more seasickness.
Yeah, a few of the guys did originally, but you slowly get used to it.
To get to Pearl Harbor, armoured vehicles make the trip across the island. The scenery is beautiful, but even with guns and armour, there's no way to avoid traffic. They're on board once more, and the mighty ship is close to full and ready to depart. Since construction began back in 2009, Australia has finished building the LHD, launched it and trained its crew, pilots and soldiers. And now, here in Hawaii, for the very first time, it's fully loaded and ready to do what it was built for. The mission is to shine in the world's biggest war games. In Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, Sean Berry, 7 News. A bird's eye view of the powerful USS America, flagship of a Marine strike group and worth more than $3 billion. We've been flown from the mainland, and we aren't the only Aussies on board. These soldiers from 2RAR are temporary locals.
It's really good fun. It's a lot different to what I've done in training. It's an eye-opener, it's an experience.
They are behaving, and I'm going to tell you this, the Australians, I've got a lot of history with Australia, and it's all good.
The America is in many ways similar to our flagship, the Canberra, but the focus here is on air power. It launches a fleet of helicopters and can also carry fighter jets. The Canberra doesn't, but this week it landed one of the Marines' rotor-tilting Osprey helicopters for the first time. The America, while one of the most impressive, is just one of the floating cogs in the RIMPAC military machine. Other forces are also training on land and under the sea, including Australia. Our elite Navy divers have done it all in Hawaii, training to fix battle damage, storming ships and sweeping villages for mines.
Being clearance divers, best job in the Navy. I love it, the boys love it.
The rest of 2RAR has returned to land. Their colleagues on the America will soon join them. In Hawaii, Sean Berry, 7 News. The P3 Orion, humble looking but the workhorse of the Royal Australian Air Force.
She is by far one of the best anti-surface and anti-submarine warfare platforms in the world.
It's been clocking up hours off Australia's west coast, searching for missing Malaysian Airlines flight MH370. The versatile P3 has been watching over Australian seas since the 60s, and we've been invited on board for one of the final journeys before the plane is phased out later this year.
Cool, righto, clear left. And clear on. Now we'll do a turn check to the right in a sec.
This is a training flight for the P3's final RIMPAC, a military exercise in Hawaii involving 26 nations.
Level 260 lots extended on.
The Orion may look like a propeller-driven airliner, but the reality is it's in another class. Scouring the sea, it can lead search and rescues, it's a well-known sub-hunter, and this plane can kill. It carries an arsenal of ship-killing and submarine-destroying missiles and torpedoes. Possibly more deadly, the American spy plane replacing it, the P-8 Poseidon. This is the first Australian P-8 test flight. There will eventually be 8 in the $5 billion fleet. They'll fly in Australia from next year. Until then, our skies and seas remain in capable hands. In Hawaii, Sean Berry, 7 News.